California High-Speed Rail Authority releases their draft 2016 business plan. It's a foundational document for implementing the California High-Speed Rail program that reflects the transition from planning to construction to providing passenger service. Comment period closes April 18th, 2016. Submit comments. We've got our address on our website if you're interested in doing that. Next up, I think we ought to go right into Pam Wolter and hear the latest from California High-Speed Rail and their wonderful petitions.
Pam Wolter, Acton resident and Acton Town Council member. And I've been spearheading this little petition that we've got. I know that I've got it at Don's office and I've got it at 4 locations in Acton, 4 businesses. And it's a legal document. It's got the whole petition explained. If you'd like to take the time to read it, I've tried several times to get through it. Not very successful yet, but I'll keep plugging away. That's exactly what happens. I get about 5 paragraphs and I go, oh, I need something here. So we're looking for, across the state, 585,000 signatures to be able to put this back on the ballot in November. It's been very successful. I've gotten about 500 signatures between just in Acton and local. So I brought extra petitions today. If people would like to take them, I'll instruct you on how to do it. It's a legal document. They're very picky about it. Our Attorney General would like to see a lot of these thrown away, so they will be going through this. I mean, she supports the high-speed rail project immensely.
Yeah.
So please, if you take a petition, talk to me and I'll tell you how to take care of this.
What's the deadline on that?
It's April 11th, but I am encouraging everybody to get them to me by April 1st so that I can get them back up to Hanford and they can do their job. The Hanford Group is the one that's spearheading getting it out across the state. And they've been overwhelmed with this project. It's a big project. But after the ruling that I don't know too much about yet, that came yesterday from Judge Kinney, I hate to even say it out loud because I haven't read the whole thing. I haven't been able to speak to Aaron Fukuda, who is my contact in the Central Valley. He's one of the plaintiffs along with John Toss. It sounds like that Judge Kinney said that because this is such a complex issue and there's so many parts to it, that the part that he did rule on yesterday, came in late Monday. It sounds like he ruled in favor of the High-Speed Rail Authority.
That's the way I interpret it.
So
He said that it didn't violate the initial.
the Prop 1A.
Yeah, it did, because it's just so big, it's expected to kind of go off. Which is, I know, it's crazy.
I find that hard to believe.
It
but,
is crazy.
You know, what can I say? We're not done fighting. And if we can get this back on the ballot in November, the people of California will speak about this because they're going to take the $8 billion that is set aside right now for the existing high-speed rail. And then there's another $2.7 billion for water storages. So between that, it'd be $10.7 billion that could then be diverted towards water issues in the state. It would be storage, it would be groundwater storage facilities. Too many for me to talk about, but this is what we're striving for right now. Let's get the 585,000 signatures across the state, and what I've been told now is that they're really striving for a lot more than that because they're going to be looking at these petitions very carefully to determine, first of all, are you a registered voter? They're getting picky about the whole situation. Did you sign it right? Did you sign it the way that it says on your voter registration card? So we know they're going to be diligent in making sure that they have. They're gonna scrutinize these to the nth degree to make sure. So I would love it if there's more people in Agua Dulce that would be willing to take a couple of petitions. There's 9 signatures on a page, and then at the bottom, you as the petition gatherer has to document where you got them, and if it's in a different county that you're going to, other than Los Angeles, it needs to be on a separate sheet. So if you go to Ventura County, you've got family there or whatever, they need to be on a separate sheet. All LA County on one, Ventura, Kern, wherever we might travel to needs to be separate. A very interesting thing happened today, and I was very pleased to be able to go. And by the way, I will let everybody know more about what Aaron and the gentleman in the Central Valley are telling us what actually happened. I only got one little email from Aaron, and it was very brief, and just that they were disappointed but knew that there was more avenues still to be. So they're counting heavily on this petition. Much, we thought we're gonna be done here with Judge Kenny. He's ruled in our favor before, so I don't really know what happens. And until I read it, I don't want to give a decision. Today, 3 town council members from Acton went over to the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce, had a candidate forum, and Mr. Malone, Billy Malone, was there. So we got to meet him again. He came to our town council meeting on Monday night and did a presentation and allowed us to ask him questions about his future vision for the rural town councils, of course, is what we're very concerned about. And he very graciously spoke with us that night. We didn't have a lot of people at our town council meeting, but we're planning, and I'm going to head this up, we're planning to invite every one of the proposed candidates. There were 7 of the 9 there today in Lancaster. They had a meeting in Santa Clarita early this morning at 7:30, the chamber did theirs, but we chose to go to the later one today. So there was Jackie, myself, and Kelly Tino that went. And we prepared questions that we submitted yesterday to the Chamber of Commerce, and 4 of our questions got read, which was wonderful. Our big question, one of them was, how do you feel about the rural town councils? Will you continue to support the rural town councils? Every one of the 7 candidates there today said, yes, of course. That was their voice and ears, eyes and ears back to the supervisor. So that was thrilling for us. We also asked them the question about the high-speed rail. Since there's 3 routes going through Acton, it was a big deal to us. And they all agreed that it was not a worthy project. So I feel like we've got pretty good support. I was very impressed with the people that were there today. And our next town council meeting, we will invite another one of the candidates. We want them to come one-on-one to our town council so that we can advertise it and bring people there. And then we're going to do another meeting before the June primary. Is it in June? June 7th. And we were hoping that we could, or my thought, I was the one that volunteered to do this, was that we could get our 2 town councils together, maybe choose a site big enough to hold a couple of 100 people, and have a forum like they did today that the Chamber of Commerce put on. So if you're in agreement with that, we'll keep going and see what dates we can get. The junior high school is kind of where we thought it would work because it's right off the freeway and it's got a big enough room. So if you're in agreement, I would love to get going on that. Let's see what else I got here for you guys.
How close are we to the signatures, 580 signatures?
April 11th. They need to get them in.
You mean the date or
Well,
the
I'm saying,
number?
how close are we?
How many have we got?
I don't know. I don't know. I've not been able to reach them in the last couple of days.
Do you have the impression that we're making good progress?
Yes, I do.
Thanks.
And they've actually hired a firm that has people out that are paid to,
Signature chairs.
Wow.
yes. And I know they're all over Santa Clarita, I know they're at Walmart and a couple of other spots in Santa Clarita, I'm not sure
By
about the other
Target,
one.
by Kohl's.
What?
By Kohl's at Target, I saw them.
Oh, okay, and they have more than just this petition, when they're out there as paid people, they've got,
And
The
of
one
course,
about
only
the-
sign once, right?
pardon me?
Of course, only sign once, right? You
Oh,
sign
yeah,
one.
oh, yeah, you can, yeah. They just sign one, because I know they've got the gun thing there, and I don't know what the other ones are. I'm only worried about this one. This is my baby, and it better go through. Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's, if anybody has any questions, I'm always available at my office. I'll run petitions over, I'll pick up petitions. We'll make it as easy as we possibly can so that we can say, yes, we sent, my goal was to get 1,000 petitions signed in Acton and Agua Dulce.
One question, one thing that I've had people say is I don't remember how I'm registered. In other words, they know their name is Don Henry, but it's registered Don C. Henry. And if they put down Don Henry and it's registered Don C. Henry, do they throw it out? I mean, how picky are they gonna be?
I don't know, Don, and what I've been advising people is how you normally sign your legal signature is probably how you did your voter card. If you don't have your card, I haven't researched it any further to find out how you would go about.
It's unlikely that someone signed their voter registration card any way different than they would sign their real estate, you know.
But I'm
This
just
Or
thinking,
your checks, or how you
checks,
sign
yeah.
your name.
yeah.
And I
I'm
think if
I'm
you,
worried about where it's printed. If you had your full middle name or
Yeah,
just the initial
right,
or nothing
right.
at all. Someone said that if there's one mistake, they throw out all 9 of the
That's what-
signatures.
that's what I've been told, and again, I'd like to do a little bit more research on that.
So we don't.
I had a gentleman the other day come into the office, he started filling it out, in fact, here's his, and then he crossed out and started, and I'm like, oh no, we're gonna redo this.
Yeah,
Thankfully, you were only on one sheet.
yeah.
So I'm very cautious when I give it to people, I'm saying, follow the instructions, read it, you know what you have to do down here at the bottom. I need volunteers, we all need volunteers, this is for all of us to put it back, but everybody, I've not had anybody say they didn't want to sign it when they realize that it will somehow go back to the vote.
Right.
I think that people are just fed up with hearing about the high-speed rail and the cost, and now they've got it back down at $68 billion. But that's not inaccurate, that's only to build the track. That's not the trains, that's not the engines, it's not the infrastructure, it's the track.
I
So,
think we've learned since that was voted on to where those that were in favor of it are gonna have second thoughts, regardless of where they live in the state.
absolutely.
Realizing that
The
there's
cost.
already corruption going on and everything else.
There's
So-
over $1 billion in the initial diesel investment, where it's supposed to not even gonna be that way, you know, at the end. So
Plus,
it's just
we
huge
know
waste.
that cap and trade money is already going towards this project. It's supposed to go towards a green project.
Of course.
The high-speed rail is not a green
But it's
project.
diesel, yeah.
It's, for the first 10 years, it's diesel engines and electricity. Well, what runs the electric plants? You know, when you start
Yeah.
thinking about all the corruption, I don't want to say it's just corruption, but the dishonesty in presenting the facts out to the people.
Just imagine the infrastructure if the initial diesel purchase is over $1.5 billion. It's just insane, and to store that, and the infrastructure to store that, and then eventually that system is kaput. They don't even want that system. That's just for the first 10 years. It's just a waste,
I know,
it's just
so
astronomical.
It'll be starting over. The experts, I read a little blurb from some experts that are not involved with high-speed rail authority. They're saying that a realistic number is 250 billion to start with.
$250 billion.
Not anywhere near this 68 billion.
It's the
that they're-
largest man-made project in the world,
Yes.
$250 billion.
And we don't have water, we've got infrastructure on our roads. We shouldn't be talking about this high-speed rail. It shouldn't be in California, that's for sure. And other states across the nation were wise enough to back out of it immediately. Wisconsin, Ohio, Florida, I don't know what Texas is doing, but, you know, those folks said, no, we can't carry this burden.
Even states that are really heavy on train use, back east, they've
Yes.
opted out of all these, so.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Pam.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. If we can have a couple.
Yes.
Can we have a few more, because I know there's a couple events coming up that I will, I'm gonna use Dawn's.
Right, I gave her
But
one.
I have plenty.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
I have plenty. I think
I don't wanna run out.
I think I've got like 50 here tonight, so I'll just.
Well, it feels like 50, but it's just 10. Thank you, Pam.
No problem.
Appreciate your efforts.
Call me if you need any.
Okay.
Call me if you need help explaining, but just take a good look at it, know what you're doing, be diligent about the signatures. You need to be standing there, you can't lay it on a counter and say, oh, go ahead and sign.
Yes,
No
yes.
mistakes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you much.
Thank you so much.
May I ask a question?
Oh, yes.
Has anyone reviewed my request? I just,
No, well, we're gonna bring it up in open forum, which is what the point where we actually allow people who wanna present something. That's coming up real quick.
okay, thank you. I just want to make sure I
Okay.
didn't miss something or.
What Mary, I'm gonna give you this too, I printed up some of those. Perfect. Just a little.
All right, now we're at the committee reports. I don't know if we have any reports to go over, but we've got the bylaw revision committee. Nothing? No. CSD revision. Election committee. I think we have Rosa
I'm
here.
here, but Larry should have the report from Lorna. She called me tonight. That was a follow-up from my email to her yesterday.
Yeah, Lorna sent, pretty much a good report, but I couldn't make the numbers work because she said there's only $230 of, credit. There's no expenses, but there's 5 of us and it's $50 a piece. I thought that would be $250. So,
People listen to that.
Okay, one was returned. It was the singer, the rock singer. What was?
and that's fine.
Yeah, that was your
But-
money. Yeah, and then there was $20 we spent on pizza.
Okay, so
Okay.
it was, okay,
I
so
mean, we were hungry, Mary.
okay, I understand that, but she just
Yeah.
needs to separate, because I have to put all that
Yeah,
in
I
my tax
understand, yeah.
returns for the IRS and
Right, I
everything.
understand. And I don't know if she sent you a receipt. I don't think you have
As
a
long
receipt for that.
As long as I know, I don't need receipts.
Okay.
As long as I know the $20 is spent on pizza, I'm good.
Yeah,
So,
it was,
I
yeah,
have
Judy
it
went and got
report,
it,
and
yeah.
I'll forward it to the entire council.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
Thank you, Rosa, for
Returned
getting that taken care
and
of.
the 20, yeah.
Thank you. Film committee. Candy.
Yes, there was Jerry at the store, the Agua Dulce store, told me that March 1st there was some big filming gonna happen. They were gonna park at the lot, Darling and Agua Dulce, and they said it was a Verizon commercial shot at Cascade Rock.
Yeah.
I sent a message to Pauline, asking her if she was aware of this. I never received notice. She said she would check into it. Then tonight, my husband on the way home said they were filming at the Sierra Inn on Sierra Highway, and I sent another message to Pauline, are you aware that something's being filmed there? I haven't heard back from her yet, so that's what I know.
Can I ask, they're filming on Sierra Highway?
At the Sierra Inn.
Okay, is there law
My husband
enforcement?
saw it, he went on his way to work, they were setting up, and he said on his way home they were still filming.
Okay, did you know if there was law enforcement there?
He didn't say.
Okay,
And I got home too late.
Were they on the Sierra Highway or in the inn?
I got home too late to go down there, so I don't know.
Okay.
He just said they were filming at the inn. They were setting up this morning, and then they were still filming when he came home.
because if they block traffic, it's required that either us or CHP is there. If they're not, that means they probably don't have a permit to film.
Yeah, well, like I said, it was too late for me to go down there, because I got home late from
Okay.
shooting.
Okay. Land use, Ed's not here. Hold on a minute. Parks and Trails, Mary.
There's nothing to report.
Land use, Ed, you got a short report for us? Anything else?
No report, I was just, Mr. President, make a motion that, much like the Water Stewardship Committee,
Yeah.
if we could use, if we could retitle the Land Use Committee, the Land Stewardship Committee. Because it's indicative that, like water, our land is a resource that deserves stewardship as opposed to just use.
So you'd like to make a motion that we add it to land steward?
Well, we should just make it land stewardship.
Change it to land
I think you can change it right now, can't you? That's what it is.
Thank you very much. And no report, Mr.
You
President.
want to keep it in that order, or you want to?
Yeah.
How about the letter? You want to do letter E? or-
Yeah.
All right, water stewardship, haven't got anything to report other than the fact that we haven't gotten the rain that they were predicting. So haven't seen much happen in the water levels, everything kind of seems to be holding its own, nothing improving, nothing dropping any worse. So we're still hoping that we get rain and snow, and it helps us. Ways and Means, Troy? Appreciate that. Disaster plan, Gary's not here.
I like his letter in the journal though, about the water. And he brought up that it had come up in the town council meeting and for the cost.
Acton and Agua Dulce School Board.
No report, Mr. President.
Acton Town Council liaison, Lily?
You heard from Pam about the petition, so I won't go over that. I will mention that Chris Crosby, the president of the Acton Town Council, has been studying the situation with filming in Acton and is quite disturbed to find that there's a lack of communication between Film LA and the county public works, and that they're closing roads without the proper notice, and all kinds of things are going wrong. But he's on it, and he's already earned the ire of a few people because he's pushing it hard. Another interesting thing happened, that I thought was kind of interesting. There's a Catholic Church project in Acton, just north of the library. And the problem with it, and nobody's against the Catholic Church building a church, but it has, part of the land is like seven lots for residential development. And the problem is that these lots have been drawn in violation of the standards district because they are less than 2 acres. And Jackie Ayer discussed this with the regional planner and found that the regional planner didn't think, they thought it would be better to have more open space because there's 7 lots for houses, and when they sell those houses, that's going to make the money to build a church. But there's also one large open space lot, and they have put more land into the open space lot and made the residential lot smaller. And this is the county's doing, because the church asked, originally for 2-acre minimum lots. So the reason I bring this up is because you have to be really careful whenever we're doing any kind of a land stewardship situation, that the county is not following the rules. And we've known this for a long time, but they continue to not follow the rules. And I guess now the planner is going to look into the situation. But we've got to watch out for these attempts by the county to, circumvent the rules of the standards district and the AD plan and the area-wide plans. So just beware.
So instead of them enforcing the CSD, it sounds like we have to be the watchdog and
Yeah,
enforce the CSD.
Precisely. That's the position the town council is in right now. So I bring it up only because it is pertinent to us as well in the future when we face these things. And we had a very nice presentation by Mr. Malone at the Acton Town Council, and I hope he will be saying something in open forum here.
Coming out.
End of report.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay, anything other in committee reports? I think that's it. So right now we have open forum. So at this point, Janet, Democrat, been so patient. Like to give us 3 minutes of whatever her concerns are.
you for giving me this opportunity. You know, shame on me because I really should have come out and shared this with you sooner. We have, just as a community, something that we can be really proud of. I've spent the last couple of years learning the ropes of advocacy for children with cancer. Wow. Wild West. Our medical research system has neglected our children systematically for decades. Those with the lowest survival rates and most years of life loss get the least amount of consideration because they're not, it's profit driven. If it's not going to promise a quick return on investment, it's very difficult to get these children the help. There's this enormous gap between promising research for them and actual clinical trials that go on. So the protocol is very particular. Excuse me, you need to either sit down or let me talk, okay? I want you to be here with me. Sophie, as you all know, Sophie lost her brother Jack to diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, or DIPG, which is, I've come to find out, is one of the most common pediatric brain tumors after being told how rare it was. There's been no survivors in over 50 years of clinical record. And Neil Armstrong's daughter died of it in 1962. We still have the same treatment methods of radiation and palliative care. And when you ask why there are no solutions for your child, you're told, oh, the numbers aren't great enough for investors. It basically feels like, as a parent, that you're being told that your child's life doesn't matter to the system. So what I've done the last couple of years is I've gone to Washington twice. At the time, it's always been during our parade. and there was still a Jack Samuels float, thank God, for the parade. But anyway, it's Cure Fest week in Washington, D.C., where people, advocates, and organizations from around the country, and around the world now, come together and rally for more awareness for our kids. And just in 2 years, the climate's changed a little bit in the administration. I think because we've been a bit brazen, I go there with wearing angel wings and ribbons for all the kids who've died, because that's all of their fate and halo. Not to be cute, because I'm too old to be cute anymore. But I wear these wings way out of my comfort zone, and I get up there and say, because we have more consideration for these 0% survival rate kids, and get all sorts of interesting answers. But basically what we've accomplished with our guy, our Congressman Knight, is HRES 586, and I'll give all of you a copy of my little flyer about it. The actual verbiage of the resolution is available at jacksangels.org. But basically it calls for more considerations of these low survival rate cancers. In the research grant process with the NCI, their budget for cancer research is our tax dollars, basically, but only 4% currently goes to pediatric cancer research as a whole. So we want that to change. And so this isn't, rather than stipulating or allocating funds by law, it's simply an awareness bill. It calls for the last week of May to be National DIPG Awareness Week, which we're really excited about. And because there are so many kids who have bravely faced death, being told that, well, basically it's just so sad, but it's so rare, you can't wait for like decades. So we're giving them a week to at least herald their bravery and the kids that are fighting today, because it's cancer's death row for kids. And I watch them every day. These families go through what we went through, and that's why I do what I do, because I just can't stay. I'm going to keep advocating for them until parents don't hear that anymore. That it's not about research investment, that our children's lives come first. Business, great, all aside, important. Anyway, so we're creating, Jack's Angels is creating a relay for Jack, which is basically an event thought out sort of in the manner of the Relay for Life, except unlike, I thank God for ACS and LLS for all they've done for cancer research, but unfortunately they've even a smaller percentage to pediatric research. So what we're doing with this is there's a specific research project with a new nonprofit biotech that's dedicated to eradicating childhood cancer, and they have a project that they're naming for Jack because I've taken it on as trying to fund it with the relay. Basically, it's a really innovative research project for DIPG, which is unsurvivable right now. And we're committing all proceeds of the event to that project. It takes like $75,000 to get it to the next level. I doubt we'll have that kind of success, but at least it's a step in the right direction. It raises awareness to the fact that we need more of these events that raise money specifically for kids. and how nice that we can participate, and kids can participate in raising money for something that's going to help other kids. So I'm hoping we're going to do it at the Rocks. It's going to be at the end of May, on May 28th, and during that week, the 22nd to the 29th is, I don't think the legislation will go through in that time, but we're going to celebrate it anyway, the first DIPG Awareness Week. And we would like to encourage community involvement. This is something this is from, my son Jack, and it was named for another child as well. But it's a testimony to what the support here, the community support here has done. I mean, for our family, if it weren't for everyone rallying behind us at the time, I wouldn't be doing what I do today. And I just think that this resolution is also a testament to that, and the power of people just taking the opportunity to care about one another the way we do in this community. I thank you for that, from the bottom of my heart, and I wanted to present this to you as something that we could really hopefully get behind together, and so hence my inquiry. So thank you.
Yeah.
And I have flyers, I have information on the HRES, and a general letter actually to the community that briefly says, if I could just briefly read it,
Yeah, so
then I'll
sure.
be done.
Right.
But it says, "Dear friends, Jack's Angels would like to invite your participation in a new event in our local community, Relay for Jack, on May 28th, 2016, which has for its primary purpose to raise awareness for the urgent need for research for our kids on cancer's death row. Somewhat in the style of Relay for Life, Relay for Jack supports a research project for DIPG, the second most common pediatric brain tumor, responsible for 80% of pediatric brain tumor deaths. Why haven't I heard of this?" is a common reaction to hearing these statistics. The answer is simple. For decades, families of a child diagnosed with DIPG have heard the numbers aren't great enough for investors when asking why there are no solutions. Our medical research system is profit motivated and has thus neglected those most needy of solutions, children with brain tumors, to the excuse of rarity, under 200,000 per year incidence. However, when brain tumors take more lives of children than any other cancer, and cancer is the leading cause of death in children, it's hardly irrelevant. It's life decimating for these families. Neil Armstrong's daughter died of DIPG in '62, yet treatment plans have changed little, and prognosis remains terminal. If anyone needed a moonshot, clearly these children do. Until our government and larger cancer charities step up for them, the burden rests with parents and charities advocating for kids with cancer to raise funds for the research. Please join us for a fun-filled relay event at Vasquez Rocks County Park, May 28th. Form a team, sponsor a booth, run, walk, or just come and enjoy the many activities with Complete Fit Kid, face painting, pony rides, plein air painting, wildlife education, and nature hikes, exploring the beautiful Vasquez Rocks natural area, which we are blessed to have in our own proverbial backyard. We welcome volunteer support. This is just as valuable to us. All are entitled to community service credit. That's for the kids, whoever. There will be 2 volunteer education meetings prior to our event. For your convenience, for more information, contact us. Also visit jacksangels.org, Relay for Jack page, or relayforjack.org. A full description of Jack's 12 Pebbles DIPG research project is also available for your inspection. Download it on the website. Thank you so much for your kind attention, and we hope to see you out there with gratitude. Thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank you. Do you have any flyers? Do you want to leave one?
I do.
I also wanted to
We have 2
pass out
meetings
the flyers
before,
and a dino dig.
we have 2 more meetings before that date arrives, so we'll be sure and add that to our announcements at the regular meeting.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we have Rosie Heffley, who's going to give us a presentation for.
Very short. First of all, I think I'd say said this before, I'm gonna say it again. Saturday night, this place became a giant movie theater. It was beautiful under the leadership of Mary Johnson, our great leader. We had the kids, they watched the movie, The Good Dinosaur. We all did, by the way. We thought it was fun. The parents, a lot of them, some of them stayed, a lot of them went and they went to town to dinner or whatever. One little girl told me they were out on a date. That's what she told me. They're all out on a date. This was actually it was for the Santa Clarita Pantry, collecting food for the pantry, and this is something Mary does twice a year, and it is wonderful. Thank you very much, Mary, for your leadership and everything you do for us and for the kids and for the community. And the other one, Friday, this coming Friday, we have a fish fry. It starts at 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Everybody come, enjoy your day. You can buy the food, go home, stay here. There's even beer, I believe I heard. There's beer, wine, coffee, I understand. And cakes, lots of cakes. So please come and join us to make some money for the Women's Club and the community. Thank you very much.
And make sure whoever comes to the fish fry signs the petition.
Now we're talking here.
Thank you, Rose.
Yeah, we should have somebody in charge of that Friday.
Right.
I'm going to be working delivering food, so I don't know what's going to
I
happen.
thought you were running delivery.
I'm going to do the food delivery or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do. The other thing is that this is also very important. The Agua Dulce Town Council election committee is down to the wire. There's only 2 of us left. Our chair, Lorna Leslie, and myself, a committee member. So we're looking for committee members. If you could join us, you have to be a voter register voter, and you have to be within the Agua Dulce Town Council area representation. We really desperately need you to sign up, and please, if you don't, maybe even Rosalind, you can come and join us. If you don't, just pass the word. Please pass the word. We need people before the elections start, and we need to. It takes very little time. 2 mandatory meetings. We have to put up the flyers, send Lillian an email or something to tell her what to put on her the paper, and also at the election day is when we really have to work all day long. And after that is back to business again after the election. So it is easy, but it is needed. We need people, we need volunteers. Anyone can find volunteers. And Lillian's going to put something on the newspaper so we can start now, see what we can do with that, okay? Thank you very much, and that's it.
All right.
Thanks, Rosie, for giving the election report.
Thank you, Rosie.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Billy Malone, who came out to visit us here. We won't hold him to 3 minutes, but we'll hold him to 3.5.
You can.
How's that sound?
It's okay. Hi. I'm a little tall, so. Is that better?
That works.
Okay. Hi, I'm Billy Malone. Some of you have met me before, some of you maybe haven't. I sit on the town council. Why did I get involved in anything? I sit on the land use committee, unincorporated. I'm president of the Chamber of Commerce, unincorporated. When I say unincorporated, that means no pay. I mean, that's right. It's our way of saying you don't get paid. But you know, we're still relevant, and we do what we can. And
Where is your town council?
Alkins.
Okay.
It is in the LA Basin, but we're on the edge of the mountains, so we deal with a lot of the same issues. We are the hiking trails, the Wells Trails, wildlife. We're right on the edge, and you know, my own backyard, we get coyotes, raccoons, bears, everything. That's why I got involved, and everybody here, there are a few people. We started up this morning at 7 o'clock this morning. Forum, and several other people I recognize have followed through and been with me all day long till now. A couple of good things that happened is it does concern me personally what happens to our town councils, because win or lose, I'm getting involved because I feel there's a need, but win or lose, I'm a resident first. I'm not going anywhere when the elections are over, I have a family, I have a wife, I have a daughter, I care about what happens next. If we don't have town councils in our district, that means you as an individual, or you as an individual, is gonna have to make that phone call to downtown and say, please pick up, this is my issue. And even though we think as a town council that maybe we're not getting as much done or as much as we could, or maybe the residents don't think we do, try it if you're the only person on the phone calling downtown saying, please pick up, I got a question, we listen. Chances are it won't happen. So town councils are relevant, we have to keep them. One good thing that came out of all the meetings today was that all the candidates were saying that they were going to keep town councils and make them relevant. And I would suggest what Pam said, invite every single one of them to your town councils, make them make that promise again in front of you, and then you can hold them to that, should that person get elected. As you know, with town councils, the three things that we really desire is one, some kind of funding to keep going on the issues that we need to deal with. Two, we deal with the message to downtown, which is hard enough, but the next avenue people forget about is the messages to the residents. I mean, the residents themselves will say, well, we put it in the paper, we put it on the website, and then, well, we didn't hear anything. So it's getting that message out. I think that town councils can get a lot of support from county when it comes to IT. If we had access to an IT department, I know that most town councils I know that if there's not one person on that council that knows how to run a website, you're going to be suffering. And if we can actually get the message out and have access to a professional that knows and we share them, we're not talking about a lot of time or a lot of money, but somebody we can share to give us support on the internet side and social media. That will go a long way to supporting us. The other thing for the reach is have a county representative be at town council meetings. Okay? Today we're fortunate, but a lot of times we're not. So that will go a long way. For a lot of people, there's not many people in this room, and your community is a lot bigger than that. And as I say, there's only a handful of people and the issues that you're dealing with. I can't remember the expression, but it made me think about it when you were talking. That when we make people say, if you think a small group of people can't change the world, that's all it ever has. So sometimes when you think you're not capable and you're going to test yourself, you'll find that you really can. And it's that testing yourself you need to do. So anyway, I was encouraged by a lot of the candidates today from what they said, but most of them come from downtown. They don't live unincorporated. They don't understand a lot of the things that we deal with. So when push comes to shove, we need to make sure it's just not word say, because anybody, and I've used this expression the other night, who owns a house, right? Most of us own our own house. And then when you buy a house, you make that list, it's a 2-week list, and you say, okay, I'm going to first move in, or before I move in, I'll pick the bedroom, I'll put the fence up, the dog hanging out, and I'll move the washer dryer. And then after that, I can do everything else as time goes on. What happens when you buy it is the sewer bags are full, your mother-in-law gets sick, or whatever the situation is, and you don't get to that list, and 7 years later, who has boxes in their shed unpacked? Right? I do, right? Just because someone says they're going to do it, when it happens or someone gets into office, it's human nature. It's not anyone may have the best intentions, but it's human nature. When somebody gets into a situation, somebody gets into office, once they get into that office, or that job position, or that house that you're buying, and something happens, and there's new priorities that come up, because it will, where are you on that list? And I'm just concerned for myself, being a resident unincorporated, win or lose, I do not want to be that box in the shed 7 years later. So that's something I think we need to think about. That's all. And if you have any questions, I'm free. Oh, one more thing. I feel if you trust people and you give them that trust, they'll surprise you with it. So I've done this at the other town council meeting. If you want to get hold of me, please don't put it in the paper. But yeah, I got, most candidates have their flyers and information, which is for candidacy and email. If you have a pen, my personal cell phone number is 626-893-0787. My email is 1997@sbcglobal.net. So if you need to get hold of me about anything or support for anything, I'm happy to help. Contact me directly.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sharon. All right, I think before we adjourn the meeting, or we're going to, this is, we got, unfinished business, let's see, announcements, excuse me. Fish fry, Agua Dulce, again, March 11th. Association of Rural Town Council, March 30th, 31st, still to be determined.
Yep.
We don't know if anybody can make that, we can just respond to it. Next regular meeting is the 13th here. Unfinished business, I think one item on unfinished business is we need to agree on joining with Acton in this forum. It's going to be held sometime in June, you think?
Well, we have to have it before June now,
Okay.
because June 7th is the primary, so.
Okay, you guys get a hold of them,
Yeah.
but I think
I'll make
basically sometime before we have a joint meeting.
Yeah, I think we just need to say that we are open to.
That's what I'm thinking, but I
Yeah.
want to go on record because we all
Yeah.
agree, because I agree with it. Yes, anybody
All in
have any
favor?
discussion?
Yeah.
Any motion? Any motion?
Okay, I make a motion that we participate in the joint, candidate forum for fifth district with Acton.
Sound fantastic, second? Second, thank you. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, yes.
And Don, what we were thinking about was having it like on a Saturday morning at 10 in the morning,
Okay,
or 10:30 at the junior high school.
okay.
Just because so many people don't want to come back out at night
Yeah,
after they get home from work, and so we want to make sure it's available to as many people as we can. We're going to try to do coffee and donuts or something,
right.
so that we'll
And have
get,
you reserved the time slot at the middle school?
at the junior high,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a hold of Will, and
You might help with any of that?
yeah,
I'll have Will
make
call you.
Will call me back.
It's a reason.
What's your cell number?
661-406-6916. I was actually gonna go stalk him tomorrow.
No, I'll call him tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Val.
He needs to be known as a stalker.
It's for a good thing, it helps us directly, it helps the school directly.
You're my sister community. We're a team, guys. So,
We're gonna
But
have
then you
to
can
connect
do
it to
it, helps our school directly too, because our school is directly affected by whatever happens with the high-speed rail, whether it's putting it to our school campuses, or whether it is destroying our community, you know,
two
it's,
schools would be destroyed by that one route, so.
and the school that we're just building,
Yes.
it's insane.
Okay, new business. Okay, good. Future item, agenda items, March 26th, CMAX update. Taken care of. Press that. General bond, traffic and safety, haven't heard anything. They left. So I haven't heard anything. Community discussion of roadblocks, developers and builders. Yes, we'll keep that on as a